Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk books. I have been reading this book for like a month and a half. No, really, I've been reading this book for like 2.5 weeks and I'm finally done and I liked it. Legendborn is going to be a 4-star rating for me because I liked it. I didn't love it. I kind of loved it, but I had some issues and we're gonna talk about those issues. I love the main character, Brianna Matthews. I love how mature she is and I love how determined she is to find out what happened to her mom. From her first night experiencing magic on the campus, I just thought, this girl is really handling this well because, you know, if I went somewhere at 16 and, you know, saw a demon flying over a flame and people like pulling out magical weapons, I would probably need like some time. I would need some counseling. I would need some prayer. I would just need something. I love both of the magic systems. I love the magic world of King Arthur and I also love the magic world of root magic. I love both those systems. I think they're very interesting and I love the fact that Bree can smell magic and she can kind of like feel magical presence around her and she can kind of like block off some of the Arthurian magic and just, it's a lot. I love the magic aspect of it. I think what I didn't really care for in this book was the love triangle situation. Like, honestly, when I think about 16-year-olds, like teenagers and things like that, I don't want to think love. I don't care what teenagers are doing. I hope that they are being safe and protected, and I hope that they're not venturing into certain things too early. I didn't really care for the idea that a 16-year-old girl is off to pre-college and she has the trust of her father, and more than once she found herself laid up in bed with some like teenage white guy. For me, that was a little weird. I just don't want to read about that because I don't care what teenagers are doing when they're in bed with other teenagers. Another thing that kind of bothered me about this book was like Bree kind of like neglecting the root magic information that her therapist and the other black student on campus that they were trying to like introduce to her, but she felt so loyal to this white secret society. I understand that these were the first people that she witnessed magic around or with, but once she met the psychologist and she was like, hey, you know, I'm black, you're black, I knew your mom, I can teach you about root work, I can teach you about your magic, our magic, and she felt this pull between the two. I was just like, oh no, like I don't understand. I don't understand that. Not to create the separation between black and white, but if you are black and someone gives you an opportunity to learn about your black heritage, I would only assume that you would go running that way before you stick to your loyalties to a white society that is already telling you that you don't belong there, that you're kind of like fighting to get into when these people are over here with like open arms. I feel like if Bree would have went in the direction of root magic to begin with, she would have had answers a long time ago. However, she got caught up in the secret white society of magic for King Arthur. However, towards the end, we do find out that she does have a blood connection to the line of King Arthur. But yeah, I wasn't feeling that. But altogether, I do love the story. I think it's a very interesting and compelling story, and I am interested in seeing where the narrative will go after this. But yeah, I liked it. I think it was cool. So really quick, I want to talk about the Goodreads Choice Awards. I'm super new to Goodreads, so I've probably been on there for like a year now. I'm just finding out about like the Choice Awards. So many of the books that I've read over the past few months or even year have been nominated and I voted. I voted for some books that I thought deserved an award. And wouldn't you know, none of the books that I voted for won any awards. And I was just like kind of upset about that. Not really upset, but like kind of upset. I was just like, so am I reading the wrong books? So while I'm going down the list of books that were nominated and the books that won, I'm looking at the amount of votes and I'm like, okay, so a lot of the books that I read only got like 5,000 votes, maybe 10,000 votes. But the books that won have like 100,000 votes or like 200,000 votes. And I'm like, I think I'm reading the wrong books. The one book on my shelf that actually won an award is Project Hail Mary. And I just got this book. I haven't read this book. I've seen it everywhere. And I just decided, like, you know, I need to get this because I love sci-fi. And the cover just kind of got me. So seeing it all over the internet, my love for sci-fi and space and the cover just made me feel like, get the book, DJ. So I got the book. Hadn't read it yet, and then it wins, I believe it won Sci-Fi of the Year award. It's a sci-fi book, it won. I'm gonna read it during the month of December. I'm gonna come back with a wrap up just to let you guys know if I feel like this one deserved an award above the others that I saw on that list and some that I've actually read. But yeah, I've heard this one is amazing, so can't wait to read it. Another book that I got that is all over the internet, it's everywhere. This book is everywhere. Everyone is talking about this book on every platform you could possibly think of. This book is clearly it. And that book is Will. So I feel different ways. Growing up, I was a huge Will Smith fan, like huge. All his movies, his shows, everything that involved Will Smith, like during the 90s, early 2000s, I was like, that's my shit. That's Will Smith. That's my shit. And I'm still a Will Smith fan. I always felt like, you know, Will Smith can do no wrong. I think for me personally, I am more so interested in the artist's work. I'm more interested in what drew me to that artist from the beginning rather than getting into personal details. Because there are a few things that I do know about Will's personal life that kind of like turned me off from him. And I hate that because, you know, he's one of the greatest. I feel like he's done movies where it's just him. Like it's him and maybe two other people or just him in an entire movie, literally grabbing our attention and taking us for a ride. And he does it like effortlessly. But knowing certain things about his personal life and having my personal thoughts on certain things, I just feel like I didn't want to really know any more personal things about him so that I could keep liking him. But many people said this book is amazing, and I do feel like there is a lot that I can take from him. He is a very successful black man, and I feel that anything he drops on us, we should take it as a gem of knowledge, as a learning experience. And also, a lot of people were looking at me like, yo, are you crazy? Are you not going to read Will Smith's book? Like, you read, and Will Smith came out with a book. You're not going to... I was like, all right, I'm gonna read it, you know. I hope I love it. I hope this doesn't make me hate Will Smith, but will. So lately I've been seeing a book online and it's everywhere. Everyone is reading it. It was actually nominated for one of the Goodreads Choice Awards. I believe it was for author debut. Could be wrong. Most people that have been posting about it are just like, it's amazing. I love it. I love this book. And the fact that it has like a really famous name attached to it kind of like really pushed me forward on my choice of getting it. That book is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Let's talk about how I got a library card and I actually went to the library and I got this book. So I took the book out. I was like, I still hate touching library books. I cannot open them and hold them with my hands like this and move the pages around. I cannot interact with a book if it is from the library. And that's just because I feel like they are dirty. I feel like they're nasty. I feel like thousands of hands have been on these books and I'm just like, no. And that's not to say that many hands haven't touched this book that I actually purchased, but yeah, the library, I just couldn't do it. I went ahead and actually bought this book because I was like 30 pages in and I was really loving the story. I will say, this is a thick book. I hadn't known that it was such a long read, 800 and something pages. Now, I will say the cover is what really got me. Once I saw the cover, I was like, hey, this might be it. I love this cover. It is pretty thick. I'm still at my 30-page mark, but I do plan on finishing this within the next week. It's a really good story so far. It's too thick for me to even say what's going on right now, for me to be in the first like 10% of the book. So I'll come back when I'm like midway through and talk about this one. But The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. So I took a little detour on my usual book journey, and I got some stuff that I don't usually read. Comic books. I got comic books. I've never been into comic books. I like to watch animated content moving, but I've never really been into comics until I've heard so many people talk about it and realizing that some of my favorite authors are actually writing comic stuff now. First comic book I want to talk about is Far Sector. You guys probably can't see this that well because, you know, it's all like a comic book. It's giving you, you know, glossy. So I got the light. I'm all like a blogger now, so I have like lights and stuff. You guys can't even see it, but it's lights in here. But this comic is written by N.K. Jemisin. Now, I didn't know that. Maybe y'all knew that. I didn't know that N.K. Jemisin was out here writing comic books with all this dope stuff in here, all these dope visuals. The art is by Jamal Campbell. Jamal, you did a great job. The story follows Jo, and she is a rookie Green Lantern person. I saw Green Lantern, like the movie or one of the movies, like a really long time ago, and I know that it has to do with like a green ring and like being able to like transform things magically or create things magically with a green ring or something like that. So this story follows Jo, and she is investigating a murder in a city where everyone's feelings have been kind of like wiped away. So there hasn't been any crime in this city for a very long time because no one has any like real feelings or emotions to connect them to anything that would make them be violent or do anything too emotional. And Jo is investigating that, and I can't wait to read about it. It'll be my first comic book that I've read ever. So the next comic that I got is Bitterroot. It might be easier for you guys to see this one because it's matte. It's not so glossy. Hopefully you can see it. So Bitterroot is following a black family in Harlem. It is a large family of monster hunters, and they all have very distinct looks. And the artistry is really, really cool. I love the vibe and the ambiance. This family, they live in Harlem and they fight monsters, they kill monsters or demons or whatever. And something tragic happens where there are a lot of losses in the family. And the cousins come together, the ones that are left, to figure out how they can stop this new attack from all these monsters. Even though they all have different tactics, they're trying to come together and figure out how to unionize and make it work. Okay, so the last book I want to talk about is Black Panther, Tales of Wakanda. I've talked about this book in my other videos about how I've wanted to read it, how it's a first of its kind, giving us a larger look at the world of Wakanda and other characters involved, and just more information on the Panther King and the people that live in Wakanda. I'm loving this book so far. This book is also another chunky one. I'm hoping to finish this during the month of December because I'm really enjoying it, but I have tons of other stuff to get to. But yeah, this book is awesome. So those are a few of my current reads, a few of my TBR situations, things that I've recently bought. Those are just my books. And that's it. I just wanted to stop by, show you guys a few of the books that I'm reading, some of the stuff that I recently got, and just check in and chat. If you have enjoyed this video, you can hit the like button. You can leave a comment, or you can even subscribe. Look at that. I truly appreciate everyone for coming by and watching and spending time with me. Once again, I am DJ. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you guys next time.